So right now, kids headed back to school. We've been hearing from a lot of parents as well as a lot of teachers about back to school anxiety. So we brought in Dr. Allison Chase from Pathlight Mood and Anxiety Center. You have a lot of information that you're going to give us today. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
All right. So first, let's start with this. You know, obviously parents know their children, but sometimes it's not always easy to see those warning signs. If they're dealing with anxiety, what should they look out for?
It's really important that parents focus on what seems to be different, right? So a lot of children, adolescents, they don't know how to communicate their feelings very well. And so as a result of that, you're going to see it come out in their behaviors. Have sleep patterns change? Have eating patterns changed? Are you noticing less interest in the kind of things that used to give them pleasure, right? So that's really a big indication and really important to try to tune into that to see.
Okay, so if parents notice those signs or their child just comes to them and say, Mom, Dad, I'm stressed, I'm feeling anxious, what are some coping mechanisms? What are some things that they can do?
Well, first and foremost, you want to acknowledge and thank your child, right, for actually expressing that to you, because it probably wasn't very easy for them at first. So talking to them about the fact that it's great that they can speak and be open about it and what is going on, right? Try to gather some information if it's possible to do, because it will help to know where best to go next. So then what you want to do is you want to better assess how much impairment is their anxiety causing them, right? So is it, how much is it affecting the sleep or eating, or are you finding they're not willing to wake up in the morning to go to school, or something of that nature, or they're avoiding social activities? So when that is happening, you want to think about seeking out professional help. It's just too important to be able to address it as early as possible.
Okay. Now we know that everything that unfortunately happened in Uvalde, it's a tough conversation to have with kids. So what can you do as a parent to address that without scaring the child?
Yes. What's really important to remember and understand is that the child's brain is different than ours as an adult, right? And they are the best indication of what they can handle and not handle. So the best way to pursue that conversation is just to throw out a general, how are you feeling about going back to school? How is it for you? And use what the child says to guide the next questions and the next ideas. What often happens is we as adults and as parents, our own anxiety seems to rev up, and then we either want to talk or make assumptions about what the child is feeling, and we can't do that. We need them to gear up what the conversation is going to be, because it may not even be the issue we think it is. And then we may assume it's not an issue, and it could be a big one. And then it's interesting where a child will start going with the conversation. So that's really an important piece of it.
Okay, so you touched on something I think that is important, something I've heard from my mom and dad friends. Our own anxieties. We as adults are dealing with anxieties, pressures as well. How do we deal with that and not project those on our children?
The magic question that you're asking. And yes, so important to be tuned in to what our own feelings are. Not always easy to do, but that first and foremost level of awareness is so important. And then the interesting thing about anxiety, it's a very physiological response. So if we can do things to actually calm ourselves down and calm down our central nervous system, like breathing, like using mindfulness and all those strategies, it can help tremendously in what we radiate out to the children that we're with. And it's also using the support system that you have as an adult, right? To be able to seek out other adults in your life, whether it be your spouse or your friend or a coworker, whoever it may be, or professional help. But really important to be finding ways in which to do that, because our kids, they're going to absorb what goes on. So.
Yeah, and one last question.
Sure.
Is there anything at home or even outdoors that we can do, with our children or just as adults to lessen those anxieties? Take a walk, anything like that?
Oh, all of the things that allow us to calm ourselves down and be more at peace and to connect. That is such an important piece of what really helps us and helps our own kind of neurobiology calm down a bit, especially that connection, like with kids and their parents, right? So take the time to take a few minutes just to catch up on what's happened. A walk is wonderful if you can do it. Engaging in activity where you're playing a game or doing something of that nature, all of those things are so important to be able to help help create connection and calm ourselves down.
All right, Dr. Allison Chase, I could talk to you all day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for those helpful
Sure.
tips.